Kanto, the first Pokemon region. Of course, we hold it very dearly to our hearts for this reason, but of course there's one way to improve it. More Megas. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 Kanto Pokemon that deserve Megas. So here you can see the 3 starters Megas. Gyarados, Pidgeot, Beedrill, sorry, I almost said Arcanine. But yeah, there is fan art designs for Arcanine, Kabutops, and Raichu. One of these 3 will be on here. That I'm going to tell you that already, but if you can guess which one, well then congrats. Of course, I do have some rules though, before we get started. So 1, you have to be cool looking, so Jinx is automatically out. You're going to need it stat-wise or competitively, which will take effect, but of course I could be wrong since I'm not a really big competitive player, but I am looking up these facts. 3, if you're a fan favorite like Missingo, then of course you have a really good chance on being on here, but if you're too popular with the fact of like many people want your Mega, like Flygon, you're going to be out. If your opposite has one, then it increases your chance like Gallade and Gardevoir. Another one would be the fact that Glalie has one, so Frostless would have a good chance of being on the Sinnoh list. No legendaries or starters. This is the fact because I think starters will all get Megas, and something special will happen to the legendaries like Groudon, Kyogre, or Rayquaza. And 6, these are my opinions, so if I put something as stupid as Arbok, no offense if you like Arbok, please don't complain about it. So we're going to start with number 5, which is Marowak. So its abilities are Rock Head, which recoil moves don't deal damage. Lightning Rod, Electro-type moves are drawn in and deal no damage. And Battle Armor, your opponent can't critical hit. It's a ground type. And the reason it's an NU tier, but has a good move pool, has, in my opinion, bad stats, especially when it comes to speed. And the last region is, well, even though it's evolved, it should avenge its mother's death. So I have 2 fan art designs for Mega Marowak, but I'm going to get to those in 1 minute, but first let's go over the Mega ability. And so I have 2 options. Either give it Anger Point, which increases attack if it's hit by a critical hit, or give it Defiant, which increases its attack if a stat is lowered. So its typing, of course it has to keep the ground type, but it's either going to add on the ghost or dark type. The dark, which would be the top picture, would be for like the hatred and the fact that its mother was killed. The hatred gets to it and helps it evolve into this. Or the ghost type, where it's like infused with its dead mother and a necromancer and stuff. So its stats, attack, speed, and special defense are boosted, and if needed, decrease special attack. Number 4. So you're going on against Blaine and Flint, and what Pokemon do they use? Rapidash. So its abilities include Runaway, you can always get away in wild battles. Flash Fire, if it's hit by a fire type move, its fire type moves are power is boosted, sorry. And its hidden ability, which is Flame Body, if it's hit by a physical move, there's a 30%, I can't talk today. There's a 30% chance of burning the opponent. It's a fire type, and the reason it's not used very much, its common weaknesses to water and ground. Currently is an NU, but is a good Pokemon with some potential. It has a good move pool, so if given the chance, it can show its true power. Now, I'm pretty sure most people have seen this Mega Rapidash design where it becomes a Pegasus, and I actually think it's pretty cool. So its Mega ability would be Aerialate, which turns normal type moves into flying type moves, and also gives them a 30% boost, or give it Drought, where Sunlight is created at switch-in. Its typing, well, it would keep the fire type, and of course, like I said, it'll become a Pegasus, so add on the flying type. Its stats, boosted defense and special defense to help with its weaknesses, and a small special attack increase. On to number 3. Remember Giovanni? Well, he's probably going to also get some Megas when it comes to Nidoking and Nidoqueen. So, even though these 2 are two opposites, even though they're opposites, I feel that they should both get one, and since they're practically similar when it comes to everything, like, not stat-wise, but abilities, I'm just going to put them all into one slide. So, speaking of their abilities, it's Poison Point, which 30% chance of poisoning opponent when hit by a physical move. Rivalry, attack and special attack increase or decrease 25% based on the gender. If it's the same, it increases, and if it's different, it decreases. Their hidden ability is Sheer Force. Moves with the secondary effect are increased in power but by 33%, but lose the secondary effect. They're both poison and ground types. As for stats, reasons, they both have great move pools and they can learn lots of TMs. Stats could probably be a little bit better, and they have 4 weaknesses, which are most common, which are Water, Ice, Psychic, and Ground. So, Mega Nidoking and Nidoqueen. I was very tempted to do something to these, which, when I get to the typing, I'll explain, but first, let's go over the Mega ability. So, it's either going to be Anger Point, increases attack if hit by a critical hit, or Competitive or Defiant, increases special attack or attack if a stat is lowered. Protect your children! So the typing is going to be Poison and Ground. They keep it. I was almost tempted to make them part Steel types, especially Nidoking with this design. But Poison Ground actually works pretty nicely. So stats, boost speed to lay out Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spikes, or just to make quick attacks before being knocked out. Boost special defense. Weaknesses are mainly special defense, but ground could be either. And small increase in special attack and attack to help with power. Mainly because Nidoqueen gotta protect them babies even though she can't breed. But so, mainly it's just small increase in everything is what I'm trying to say. On to number 2. Iris and Lance, and I'm talking about here Iris from the TV show. They have one Pokemon in common. What is that Pokemon? Dragonite. So its abilities include Inner Focus, where it can't flinch, and Multi-Skill. The damage is reduced by 50% if at full health. It has a Dragon Flying typing, and the reasons, well, it's a fan favorite, and a lot of people want this Mega, since Salamence and Garchomp got one. And it has a 4 times weakness to Ice, and it can't touch Fairy types with its best moves. What an outrage, huh? So a lot of people have also seen this Mega Dragonite design, and I gotta say it's a pretty cool one. So Gale Wings would be its Mega ability. Actually, there's 3 options for it. Gale Wings is one of them, where it prioritizes flying moves. Super Luck, where it increases chance of critical hit. Or Pixelate, turn normal moves into Fairy. So like Extreme Speed. Typing, it would keep its Dragon type, but change the flying to Fairy, where it would be similar to Altaria. So stats, boost in special defense to withstand its weakness. It flies, so have its speed increased by a lot, and slight increase in special attack. And at number 1, we're going to have to talk about Blaine and Blue. Who is it? Arcanine. So its regular ability is Intimidate, which reduces opponent's attack stat. Flash Fire, immune to fire type moves but boost firepower, and its hidden ability is Justified, where it increases attack if hit by a dark type move. Typing, Fire. Reasons? Well, it's one of my top 6 Pokemon, so that's probably why, and by top 6 I mean top 6 favorite, and that's probably the reason why it got up so high in this list, or else it probably would have been number 2 if it wasn't one of my top 6. It has a good move pool, needs better special defense due to its common weakness to water and ground, but as I said, ground can be either or. So Mega Arcanine, many people have also seen this design, and it's probably one of my favorites, but of course, like anything, it can be improved. So, its Mega ability would be Flurry, which is an ability that there isn't at the moment, but this name comes from Tyranitar Tube, so thank you. Normal type moves, so it's similar to like Pixelate and Refrigerate, but instead of turning into Fairy or Ice, the normal type moves become Fire type moves, and this helps with like Extreme Speed and Thrash. It would keep its Fire typing, gaining nothing else. Stats, small increase in everything, so just so it can be even scarier, because it's already pretty good. Pokemon that almost made this list, because I know you guys are probably going to complain that I didn't take into anything other than my favorites. Golem, which would either become Rock Fire or keep its Rock Ground. Ninetales, which would turn into a Fire Ghost. Dugong, turn into Water Fairy, and I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Sandslash, keep its pure ground typing, and Kingler, which would become Water and Steel. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any suggestions for future videos on who should make it, comment it below. Comment who you think should have made this list or anything you would have changed. Pictures, credit goes to whoever made them originally. Make sure to watch, like, and subscribe if you want more, and comment who you thought should have made this list. Until then, see you all next time.